YouTube channel. So this is just a bit of a chatty video really. It's something that I think about quite a bit, it's something that I read about quite a bit, and it's something that I think quite a lot of mums can relate to, or dads, and that is the subject of self-care. So basically you could call it me time, you can call it self-care, you can call it whatever you want, but it's, you know, it's a subject that I'm quite passionate about as a new mum, and I don't know whether it's worse because I'd had IVF. I think, to be honest, all mums feel like this, whether you've had IVF or not, but because I wanted these babies so badly and I never ever thought I'd be able to have children, I definitely put quite a bit of pressure on myself to be like a perfect mum, and I know there's no such thing as a perfect mum, but anything I do I want to be really good at it. And obviously, you know, your children are your world, therefore you tend to want to be like the best mum you can be. But part of being the best mum you can be, or the best parent you can be, is self-care. And I see this quite a bit on social media, and there seems to be like two kind of like squads, if you like. So you've got the one squad that's like, you should spend every second with your baby, like you're selfish if you do anything for yourself, la 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 la. And then the other squad is like, no, do you know what, it's really important to take care of yourself and don't ever feel guilty for doing that. And I was kind of like in the middle. I was kind of like, for the first, you know, good, God, I don't even know how long it took me to leave them, even for like a couple of hours. But you know, at the beginning I was like, I had to do everything myself. I was like, I didn't want anyone doing anything for me, to the point where my family were like, actually, do you know what, Nick, we're here to help, like we want to help, can you stop trying to do everything yourself? And I was like, okay, maybe they're right, because when they're newborn, you know, you go through the sleepless nights, you go through the lack of food, you go through all of that, and it's like a bit of a haze, and you just kind of like get through it, and then you come out of the other side and you think, actually, I'm still a person as well. I'm not just a mum. And you know, being a mum is the best job in the world, but there might be other things that you need to do to make sure that you are the best mum or the best dad that you can be, or just in life in general. Even if you're not a parent, then these could be applicable. So talking on the subject of like self-care, I'm not talking like selfish stuff. So I'm not talking about like, I don't know, going out every single night and drinking loads of alcohol or anything like that. That's not self-care. Self-care will mean different things to different people. So you kind of need to figure out like what makes you happy and what's going to make you a better version of you. And I can talk you through in a minute like what I do for self-care, or for like my bit of me time, and then maybe you can have a little think about what would work for you. So I made myself a little list. For me, really, for me it's exercise. So I'm in my gym stuff now. I used to go to the gym Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday and Saturday. So I used to go quite frequently. Now I can only go on a Tuesday morning, that's to my gym that I'm a member of, and then on a Wednesday for 1 hour only I have my personal training. And physically it's important to take care of your body, but also mentally it's important to take care of your body, especially if you're a parent and you're looking after children. You know, having that little bit of time away from myself helps me physically and mentally. So for me, exercise is definitely a form of self-care. It doesn't have to be going to the gym, so you might just want to go out for a walk. I absolutely love listening to podcasts, so go out with your headphones, go and have a walk and listen to a podcast. You might be into yoga or meditation, you might be a runner and you just want to get your trainers on and go out for a run. That is not being selfish, that is looking after yourself mentally and physically. So don't let anyone ever make you feel bad for having a little bit of time to exercise. There is nothing wrong with that whatsoever. Also, what's important is eating well. So for me, self-care is looking after my diet, what I eat, and making sure that I get time to eat nice food. Now, I'm not gonna lie, sometimes it's just microwave scrambled egg. Because I just haven't got the time or the energy to make anything. Other times I take more care and I really enjoy cooking. So once the babies are asleep, I'll go and make a nice meal. So eating well is really important, and that's a form of self-care. Another thing I like to do is I do like to go shopping. Now I tend to do this online now, but I've had one day since they've been born where my mum's like, Nicola, I'll just look after them. You go out and you just go shopping for the day. I was like, oh my God. And it felt so weird. I was like, what am I going to do with myself? I don't know where to go. I don't know what to do. And it was exciting, but at the same time, I was starting to feel guilty for leaving them. And I was like, you know, it's not even a day. It was like half a day. I went off, went shopping. I was so happy. I found some lovely clothes. It just made me feel good. And I came back and I really missed them. And they, you know, looked forward to seeing me, because you could tell they were so excited to see me. So that could be something that you want to do. Or I get really bad like shoulders and neck pain. Luckily it hasn't been that bad, which, considering I'm carrying 2 heavy babies around, you know, it's a bit of a miracle really. But every now and then I like to have a sports massage. Now for some people, going for a sports massage might be the equivalent of torture, but I love it. And it's an hour. I've had two since the boys have been born, so that's 11 months. But those 2, I really appreciated it. I used to take all these things that I used to do for granted so badly. You know, I just used to do them as and when I felt like it, and obviously I can't do that now. So I really enjoy doing that. Since having the boys, I've taken my acrylic nails off, so I no longer get my nails done anymore. But I've been painting them myself, but the other day I did get to go and have them done. I just had a manicure and I had gel polish, and for me, you know, that's kind of a little bit of self-care as well. I also like to do, you know, like watch box sets and things like that. So I mentioned podcasts earlier. All that sort of stuff I just do when the babies are asleep. But for somebody that might not get the opportunity to watch much TV, you might want to go and watch a box set for an hour or so. That could be self-care. Another one is seeing friends. I tend to see all my friends when the boys are with me, so for me that's not really an issue. I do get to see my friends. You don't necessarily get to chat very much. You might just go meet up with your friends and you're just concentrating on your babies. You might get to have like 2 words to each other. Or I would go out at the weekend. Again, it's rare that I go out now at the weekends. Although they're in bed from like 6:45, I just don't go out that much. That's something that I you know, I do want to do a little bit more. I think it's important. Chris and I do spend some time together as well, just us, you know, going out and enjoying each other's company. But I don't really like to leave the boys, even though it's ridiculous and they're asleep. Like, it's so stupid. But I have done it a couple of times now and it's been fine. And I do have a good time, but in the back of my head is always going to be them. And also the fact that I don't really want to drink much because I'm getting up, you know, in the morning with them as well. But yeah, you know, going out, socialising with your friends is another form of self-care. Also, for me, work and my goals are also important. So for me to be the best version of me, and for me to be what I consider a good role model to my children, and just, yeah, again, mentally, I like to feel like I'm doing something and I'm applying myself. So although I don't do my management job anymore, I'm still very passionate about, you know, creating things. So I'm part of Channel Mom, so I like to create content for brands that I really love and brands that I am lucky enough to work with. I don't do a lot of that, but it is something that I like to be able to find the time to do. So on a Thursday when I go to work at my Slimming World group, occasionally I'll say to Chris, right, can I just grab like half an hour just to make a video? And he's like, yeah, of course you can. And that just makes me feel good about myself, that I've got time to still be like, you know, work Nicola. And I've got goals as well. So, you know, achieving your own goals, that is not selfish either. And it depends on your time frame of goals. So there's certain things that I want to achieve that can wait until the boys are older, but there's other things that have got a time frame associated to them. So, you know, taking a little bit of time to work on those would be good. One particular goal I've got, I have spent about probably 2 hours on it since they've been born, and you know, I kind of like had this like realization the other day that, oh my god, 11 months has passed and I've only spent like a couple of hours on this project that I really want to achieve. And I thought, you know what, I need to just spend a little bit more time on that. So that's something that I'm going to do more of in the evenings, and less of being on Instagram and scrolling away. Some people like to journal, so it's not a massive passion of mine. I do like a journal. It depends what I've got going on in my life, but for some people, just to sit down quietly and be able to take some time for themselves and, you know, write things down in a journal, that can be another form of self-care. Or just, you know what, I absolutely appreciate now more than I ever have is a bath. just to be able to take time and have a nice bath, put a face mask on, you know, put Netflix on, watch a bit of Orange is the New Black, and just lie in a bath for half an hour. Like, that's self-care too. That is amazing. And I think they're kind of like the main ones that I can come up with right now. But please don't think that you're being selfish by having the odd hour here and there. Please, you know, don't feel guilty for those things. It's hard because, you know, mum guilt is real, and I've been told that that's something you're going to feel now for the rest of your life. But it really isn't selfish to want to be the best version of you. And for me, like I said, I don't want to be like drained. I don't want to be tired all the time. Occasionally I need to feel like a bit more refreshed, and these things will help with that. So yeah, I think it benefits you, it's going to benefit your children, and I think it probably benefits your partners as well. Because if you're tired, if you're hungry, if you've had no time to exercise and you enjoy exercising, you know, if you're really missing your friends, or you feel like you haven't bought anything new for ages for yourself, or you know, your nails are hanging off, or your hair's got roots down to here, and you just don't feel great, then you're not going to be that best version of you, and that might, you know, then have a knock-on effect with like other relationships in your life as well. So yeah, overall, self-care is not something to be frowned upon. It's not something that you should judge people on. It isn't being selfish, it's important. So if you are a new mum like me, or you've got multiple children, or you're a dad, or whatever, you know, just have a little think and decide what's going to make you happy and make you feel more refreshed, and then just do it. Just do it, just plan it in and do it. If you struggle for support, then I know that is going to be an issue, because I have had people comment and say, oh, you know, you're lucky that you've got your mum, or you're lucky that, you know, your husband's really good. And yeah, you know, we are a very close family, but there are other options as well if you do struggle for help. So if it's not possible whatsoever, then a lot of these things you could potentially do while they are asleep as well. So things like the bath and all of those things could be done while they are in bed. But yeah, whatever you choose to do, just be happy. It's your life, we only get one life. Just make sure that you're happy too. And you know, obviously our children and our babies are the most important thing in the world to us, but that doesn't mean you have to go right at the bottom of the pile either. So I hope you've enjoyed watching this video. I'd really love to know, like, what do you do? What's your kind of like little bit of me time or your self-care? Do you like gardening? Have you got a hobby? I don't know, I'd be really interested to know. So thank you so much for watching this, guys, and hopefully I will catch you in my next video. Take care, bye for now.